Welcome to the Yin series. I'm Lucy from the studio, and I'm here to bring you 7 short Yin practices, each designed around one of your 7 chakras. They're the energy centers aligned along the spine. Your Yin practice, remember, has to be the one about giving up effort. Your muscles work continuously all day long. They also need to learn how to let go. And that's what Yin Yoga helps us to achieve. There is also a very strong link to mindfulness. Throughout Yin, we're very mindful of our breath. We guide our focus to that one point of concentration, helping to quieten and still the mind. So as always, the best time to do your Yin practice is in the evening, after a long day at work or even a long weekend day. Whatever it is you've been doing, you just allow yourself to leave all those experiences at the door and bring yourself onto your mat, allowing your body and mind to just relax. So in today's video, we are focusing on what's called Vissuddha chakra. So that's our throat chakra that sits literally here. Now this is where we communicate from. This chakra gets blocked when we can't effectively express ourselves, and that can come as a variety of different communication situations which may arise in life. So to start this practice, we're just going to gently come to a seated position. And as we've done with another one of these short videos, we're actually going to start tonight's practice with some Brahmari. So Brahmari is a pranayama exercise, and in English it's known as the humming bee. So once you get yourself into a seated position, this is what we're going to do with Brahmari. So it's going to look and sound like this. We take a big breath in, and then as we exhale, we literally hum the sound of a bee, feeling the vibrations in the lips and the mouth, and then the internal vibrations that get ignited from within. Now usually we do 3 rounds of Brahmari. If this is something that you have practiced with before, you may wish to take this practice slightly deeper by blocking off, closing off the ears with your thumbs, and that really helps you to tune into the vibrations that get created from within. So we're going to do 3 rounds together. It's up to you whether you choose to close your ears off or not. So just sit nice and tall for me. And we're going to take a couple of breaths in before we start this pranayama exercise. And this really is a beautiful exercise to help us experience pratyahara. And pratyahara is the 5th limb from Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga. And it's all about withdrawing from external stimuli. Pratyahara is about withdrawing from distractions so we can comfortably bring that gaze in. Taking a big deep breath in, and let's begin. Upon completing those 3 rounds, just lower your chin to your chest, keep your eyes closed. Just allow the breathing to return to normal. And as well as teaching us the yogic benefit, the breath, Brahmari breath, also has powerful healing effects on our autonomic, as well as bringing benefits in terms of yogic benefits around the 8 limbs of yoga. Brahmari breathing also has powerful healing effects on our nervous system, mainly our sympathetic nervous system, where our fight and flight mode lies. So just by listening, by tuning in to that buzzing sound that you create, you both soothe and concentrate your senses, drawing your gaze comfortably more inwards. With your chin tucked into your chest, really start to allow gravity to do its work of drawing the shoulders down towards the earth. And let's just bring our focus onto our neck. The neck is the connector between the head and the heart. So we're just going to take some neck circles now, creating lateral extensions through both sides of the neck. So inhale, sit nice and tall, keep your eyes closed. And as you exhale, softly lower left ear to left shoulder. Feel that space down the right side of the neck. Feel that space across the upper front right shoulder. And then gently, be careful, slowly bring your neck back to center. And as we exhale, right ear travels to right shoulder now. Feel that space down the left side of your neck. And then inhale, bring the head back to center. To deepen this, we can take the arms behind the back, interlock all fingers. So you're going to do this behind your back. You're going to squeeze the palms of your hands together. And then we're gently going to bring the hands over to the left side of your waist and really draw the elbows back towards one another. Take a big breath in, sit nice and tall. And as you exhale, lower the left ear to the left shoulder. Feel how much deeper that then creates a stretch across the front of the right shoulder into the right arm. Also feel that space that's coming across the right pectoral muscle. And just softly breathe into this area. Then just release the arms, and I would use your left hand here to just gently bring your head back to center. The reason for that is your head weighs about 15 pounds, so it's quite heavy for the 7 neck vertebrae to hold onto it. So it just helps to give it a little bit of a guide so we don't cause too much stress through the muscles around the neck. So then to work the opposite side, take the arms behind the back once again, interlock all fingers, and then bring those hands over to the right side of your waist. Draw the elbows back towards one another. Take a big breath in, sit nice and tall. And as you exhale, right ear to right shoulder, feel the length through the left side of the neck, front of the left shoulder, into the left arm and across the left side of your chest. Slow the breath, calm the nervous system. Then release that right arm and softly help bring the head back to center. And And then we're just going to take soft, slow, but very, very conscious semicircles with the head around the neck. So we're opening up now through both sides of the neck, across the chest, into the throat. And then as we take the head back, you'll feel all that space running down the front of your neck. And then we're softly going to tuck the chin into the chest, release the back of the neck, compressing the throat area. So as you inhale, travel left ear to left shoulder. Keep inhaling as you send the head all the way back. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Keep exhaling, squeeze the chin into the chest. And again, inhale, take it back. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Keep exhaling, squeeze the chin in. And we're going to do 3 soft, mindful circles one way, and then 3 the other way. And then just allow the head to fall still, chin into chest, and bring your hands into Anjali Mudra, Prayer Mudra at heart center. Then lift your gaze, open your eyes, take your arms behind your back, plant the hands down, fingers point away from the body, and just lift either the chest or the chest and then the buttocks, so you lift that off the mat, and gently release the head back, and really try to extend and expand here through the throat. Inhale, softly bring the buttocks back down, gently bring the head back to center. And once again, tuck the chin into the chest. And then rolling over the ankles. You can either now take full saddle pose or half saddle. So saddle is our kneeling posture. Very good at stimulating the central front line across the body. So if we look at meridian lines and fascial lines of tension, this is what really gets released in this posture. So what you do is you bring yourselves to kneeling. Knees apart is easier, knees together is more intense. And you roll those calf muscles outwards so you can create more space to lower the bottom down. Now there is a very deep flexion going on across the knees, so a deep softening there, and also across the front of the ankles. If this isn't for you, you can by all means bring some blocks under your bottom, and then you'd need a support for sure, like a bolster or some pillows and blankets behind you. If you've got your bum on the floor, you can either go all the way back or onto a bolster, whatever works better for your anatomy. If this feels like excruciating pain in your knees or in your ankles, please just do it with the right leg to begin with. So I'll demonstrate on the opposite side here. So I'll have my left leg straight, right leg bent, and then I'll let you know when it's halfway through and you can switch over to the other leg, okay? So I'm going to take the full saddle today. Remember, when you come into saddle, you're bringing the foot to the outer hip, resting on the top of both feet. And then you gently come all the way back. Again, you can use a bolster, or if you don't need a bolster, you can lower all the way down onto your mat. Now, if you are on the floor, you may wish to take the hands together, interlock all fingers, turn palms of hands away from body, and extend the arms back overhead. Or Or you might prefer to release and relax the shoulders more and have your palms facing upwards. So these postures where we're releasing through the front of the body usually requires a lift in the heart. And any postures where we lift the heart, as we know from our last practice, also help to stimulate the heart chakra, where we cultivate love and compassion. But it also creates a full extension of all the key muscles running down the front of the body. So in saddle pose, as you breathe in, really push the air into the belly and allow your entire abdomen to softly swell with air. And then as we exhale, it's like you give the back of the body permission to just relax and release down onto the mat. And as you start to tune in and connect more with the breath, maybe start to use visualization skills of just simply inhaling a beautiful bright light that literally fills your entire abdomen with air. And then as we exhale, you feel the body start to melt back towards the mat. Start to tune into those feelings of letting go and releasing. Really allow the belly to swell on the inhale and recede back on the exhale. For those in the half version with your left leg straight, right leg bent, you're going to take a big deep breath in. And as you exhale, just allow everything to surrender. Feel that release. Then those in half saddle, you're gently going to bring your hands back down, push the palms of the hands into the mat and slowly come up to seated. And then you're just going to repeat it on the opposite side. So this time extending your right leg and bending your left leg. You may well find that one side of the body is tighter than the other. This will maybe become more obvious in the half saddle. But just feel in your full saddle. Does one side feel like it could go a bit further, and other side maybe feel a little blocked or restricted? So one of the biggest causes of frustration is when we can't express ourselves, whether that be a lack of ability on our behalf or a kind of clash in personalities that can happen. So when this does happen, the throat chakra starts to become blocked. That energy, that pranic flow can't flow through and up to the third eye chakra. So I'd like you to just tune into that area now. Lift your chin up towards the ceiling slightly, but not too much that you're creating tension down the back of the neck. And just visualize breathing into your throat area.
toes in full saddle. Just gently see if you can walk the knees a little bit closer together. Don't distress your body though. If the knees feel very tight, then please don't do that. Just if you can, while we spend the last few breaths here, challenge your body without distressing it. So finding the edge of the good stress, that's the eustress for the body. Taking one more deep breath in and softly exhaling and releasing the back of the body down onto the mat. Now those in full saddle, you may just need to spend a little bit of time awakening the hands and the arms here. And then on your next in-breath, push down through the arms. And then we're going to straighten the legs out in front of us. And just allow the legs to come to an extended position. You may well start to detect pins and needles in your lower limbs here. And that's just as a result of the fresh oxygenated blood pumping back down to the lower limbs, which is actually very beneficial in terms of healing any old or current injuries. You could choose to stay here in Dandasana, or if you want just a counter pose, just softly fold forwards. And then inhale back up. Cross one ankle over the other, and let's roll forwards and come onto our bellies, forearms down onto the mat. Now Sphinx pose has been used in other practices that we've done around the 7 chakras. When we're working with the throat chakra, we're really thinking about this area here, okay, around the front of the neck. So I want you to consider how you place your neck here. Avoid jutting the chin forwards like that. Even though you'll create an extension here, you will inevitably create tension at the back of the neck. So use this pose to counterpose the tendency of doing this in everyday life, and just gently tuck the chin back, almost like you're trying to tuck the chin back towards the back of the skull. Now it will give us a double chin, which I know we don't really want to create. However, believe it or not, it's good to relax the skin here. It means we're not pulling it all day, which will actually make any double chins a little worse. So we're just going to push the forearms into the mat. We're going to be mindful not to collapse here in the shoulders. We push the forearms down. As I said, tuck those toes under to protect your lower back. And we're just going to stay here for a couple of minutes, thinking about the placement of the neck, thinking about the placement of your chin, and trying to encourage a softening across the facial muscles. So allow your teeth to slightly part, releasing tension which does collate in the jaw. Quite often tension in the jaw can come as a result of that Vissuddha chakra being blocked. By deepening the posture and drawing the shoulder blades back on the exhale, you will stimulate the throat chakra, but that's more targeting the heart chakra. So as I said here, you don't have to worry too much about the projection of the heart. We just want to think about the placement of our neck. Taking one more deep breath in. And exhale, just fully sighing all the air away. Then softly lowering the head back down. Just walk those hands underneath the shoulders. Elbows don't go out to the side, they draw back towards one another. And let's push ourselves up. So now we're going to look at snail. So snail is the yin term for halasana, which is plough pose, which is quite often a posture you go into before you go into Shavasana, shoulder stand. Now snail is a powerful groin opener of the adductor muscles. It really stretches out the inner thighs. It also really stretches out the glutes and the lower back. If you straighten the legs, you will work into the hamstrings as well. Also helps to regenerate the lower back tissue. So due to the extension that's going on in the back, we get a real regeneration of cells, a regeneration of fascia taking place. Also helps to aid digestion, cramps. So what we're going to do is lie simply on our backs and just straighten the legs out in front of you. And then we're gently going to lift the legs up as if you're going to go into legs elevated pose. And this time you're going to walk those shoulder blades down, then lift your hips up. Now it may be that you walk the hands together to really get a lift in the back. Be mindful not to turn your head here, so you might want to demonstrate. So watch the demonstration. You might want to watch the demonstration here. We don't want to turn the head in this posture. And you might start to feel tingling sensations. And if that's the case, you can just bend the knees. Bring the knees around the ears. Don't worry about getting completely straight back here. What we're looking to do is release, is let go. You may wish to release your hands down onto the mat. Now you'll notice that your chest is traveling up towards your chin. So to stop any restriction in the breathing here, just slightly lift your chin, even if it's just 1 millimeter, up towards the ceiling, and that will help to release any blockages at the back of the throat. Now this is a deep compression on your throat chakra. And just observe how easily you can breathe in this pose. We want the breath to try and flow unaltered by the change in position. But obviously when the body's in a different position, different areas feel pressure or tension. What you should hopefully find is any sensations like tingling in the lower back and glutes start to pass the longer you remain here. You'll also feel a beautiful release across the upper traps and across the rhomboids muscle, that's the muscle connecting the shoulder blades. And again, big breath in and exhale. And then just slowly bend the knees, squeeze the navel in so you softly lower down vertebrae by vertebrae. Avoid the temptation to just roll out of it Let's try and do it a bit slower and more mindfully. And you can almost feel each of the 33 vertebrae connect back with your mat. And then you're just going to come to Shavasana. Feel the chest, the back of the neck and the upper back. Drawing your heels in as you spend time just breathing. Allow the knees to lower from one side and then the other. Just helping to release any tension which may be trapped in the lower back. Before we move into our counter pose of fish pose, which will actually be our relaxation posture. Remember, as you lower the knees from one side and then the other, shoulder blades and back of head remain in contact with the mat. Okay, so knees in, chin to chest, gently rock forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards until we come all the way up. Okay, so our final pose is fish pose. You will need a bolster for this. In the absence of a bolster, you may wish to use blocks, in which case you would bring them into a T shape. So you would get 2 bricks that are the same thickness. And you would simply bring them on the mat, one lengthways, so it would go in between your shoulder blades. And then the other one sideways, so it almost looks like a T shape on the mat, a capital T. And that's just to support the back of the head. Not as comfortable, however, as using a bolster. And as I've said before, in the absence of a bolster, you could use blankets or anything like that, just to help create that lift. So you can use blocks, bolsters, anything you want, pillows, blankets, just to get that lift across the chest. So coming down into our supported fish, feel the spine anchor down onto the supports beneath you as you lengthen through the front of the body. We allow gravity to do its work of drawing the shoulder blades down towards the earth, palms face upwards. You could, if you feel this in your lower back, bring your heels in, keep your knees bent. You could straighten your legs, helping to release down the flexors and into the upper quads. Or you could work on your abduction and strengthening that by drawing soles of feet together. Palms face upwards. So again, as you breathe here in your fish pose, become aware of just how different fish pose feels to snail pose. Allowing the breath to soften even more. Again, just allow the chin to tuck in towards the back of the skull, just like in Sphinx pose. And feel all that space across the pectoral muscles, feeling a gentle compression of the lower back and thoracic spine. Starting to bring the awareness back to the breath again. Taking a really big deep breath in, pushing the air as deep into the belly as you can. Feel the diaphragm subside as you squeeze in as much air as you possibly can. And then as you exhale, just let that breath out on a sigh. And again, big breath in, 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 and fully and slowly exhale. One more time, taking a big breath in, and this time really sigh the air away. Gently bringing movement back to fingers as we gently and softly guide the knees back together. And then bringing your left arm to your left ear, you're going to support the head as you roll onto your left hand side, off the blocks, and into the fetal position on the mat. When you're ready, you're going to come and join me back in a seated position. And just come back to a seated posture, maybe sitting with the opposite leg in front. So if you automatically bring your right leg in front and you're going to switch it round so your left leg's in front, chances are that will be different to what you took before when we started today's practice. So just take a moment to take stock of everything that you've achieved, taking your awareness to the throat area. How does this area now feel? Bringing your hands softly into prayer at heart center. Thank you for choosing to practice with me today on our yin. Thank you for choosing to practice with me today on our yin class focused around the Vissuddha, the throat chakra. So next week we'll be looking at Ajna chakra, and that's the third eye, the one that sits just in between the eyebrows, our source of intuition and wisdom. So I hopefully see you back here on the mat very soon. And as always, guys, please continue to stay safe and stay well. Namaste.